Hey everyone! So a lot of you asked me for a tutorial on this black ruffle bow theme mini dress I worked on recently. So here's my best attempt to create a tutorial and a visual walkthrough of the entire pattern. I have tried to add all the resources that I used in the description, and I've also added timestamps to this video so you can easily navigate through the pattern. A tiny disclaimer, this pattern is a little more measurement inclined and it's slightly intermediate, so if you're a beginner it's definitely possible to pull through till the very end. It just might take slightly longer, so just be a little more patient. So without further ado, let's get to the pattern. I used a medium weight 4-ply wool blend yarn. I have added a link in the description for the exact one I used. You can similarly use any material of yarn which is stiff just like this one. I used a 5mm crochet hook with that. You'll need a measuring tape along with a notebook to note your measurements. You'll need stitch markers, yarn needles, scissors, and optionally elastic yarn if you really want to perfect the fitting. I've gone with US terminology for the stitches, and here are a few abbreviations you might see alongside the tutorial. We're going to need 3 measurements for the blouse part of the dress. Let's label them A, B and C. Length A is going to be our entire torso circumference all the way around. Length B is going to be the front width of the particular blouse. This is the part that's going to be covered with the dress. Length C is going to be the back part of the dress, which is going to be backless and will have the back lace on it. So essentially your measurements should be B plus C is equal to A. Starting with the blouse panel, I have chained 60, which is equivalent of length B for me, which is the front panel. You can keep chaining stitches till your chains are equal to length B for you. We're going to consider this the foundation chain. So now when you're done creating length B with chains, chain 1 extra and then turn your work. Now we're going on to the first row of our project. For the first row, we're going to do single crochets from the second chain from the hook all the way across. For me, that's 60 chains. Once I'm done with the same, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. So for row 2, we're going to do back loop single crochets in each stitch across. We're going to keep doing these back loop single crochet stitches till the end of that row. Then we'll chain 1, turn our work and repeat row 2. We will essentially have to repeat row 2 till we're happy with the desired height of our blouse. For me, that was around 11 to 12 rows. At this point, we have reached the frill base. This section creates the backless part and sets up the frill. Now, instead of just chaining 1 and turning our work, we're going to create chains which are equivalent to the length C we have measured. Once we have reached the desired length C with our chains, we're going to stitch it and create a circle with our work. We're going to do the same through a slip stitch. Once you've created this circle, chain 1 and place a stitch marker here if needed, but this will mark the beginning of the first round of our frill section. So our frill section is quite similar to our blouse section, but now we're going to be working in rounds. So for round 1, we're going to back loop single crochet around the new chain and along the bottom edge of the blouse. Remember that while chaining your back loop single crochets, every third stitch should have an increase. So we'll do 1 back loop single crochet, second back loop single crochet, and the third stitch will have 2 back loop single crochets. We're going to keep repeating this process till we're done with our round. For round 2, up until we're happy with the length of our dress, we're going to keep doing the same as round 1, but instead of an increase on every third stitch, we're going to do an increase on every 10th stitch. You're free to do more and lesser increases based on the frilliness and the ruffles you want on this dress. If you like the ruffles that I have created for my dress, then you can follow this exact pattern. And once you're happy with the height, you can fasten off your yarn and you're officially done with the base of your dress. For the sleeves, you can actually try on the dress at this point. and put stitch markers on the desired space you'd want the sleeves to be. For me, it was 12 stitches from the edges of the blouse panel. Once you've locked in on the position of your sleeves with the stitch markers, you can create a slip knot on one side, chain 150 and fasten off your yarn. You're going to want to do the same thing for both sides. So the back lace is something that's entirely up to you. You can decide how elaborate you want it and add more crosses. But essentially I have tried to just put in a few crosses on this sample dress over here to show you how it would look once you've added the crosses. You can also use stitch markers here to measure up at what stitches you're adding the sleeves to go through so that they match on both sides. If you've reached this part of the pattern, congratulations, you officially have your base dress and now you're pretty much free to just style it the way you want. If you really like the bows I did, I am adding a tutorial right here which I followed for creating these tiny bows. If you feel like the back is too loose for you, you can add elastic yarn. I'll also add a tutorial right here on how you can add elastic yarn to your outfit. If you feel stuck at any point of the pattern, feel free to drop a comment or reach out to me on my Instagram and I'd be happy to address any questions. And last but definitely not the least, if you have created this dress, please share them with me on my Crochet account on Instagram and I'd be happy to help promote it and share it on my account as well. All the best!